What's going on, guys? So today I'm going to switch it up a little bit. We're trying to get our baby girl to go to sleep, take a nap, because I want to include my wife in the Ultra Premium Collections Celebrations box opening. Got that right here. Really want to open this up and do a video, so it may be later tonight. I know I said it was going to be last night, but I said I think it'll be last night. So it's most likely going to be tonight that we're going to open them up. We're going to go for that Charizard. I also really want to get the Blastoise and Venusaur. I could have just probably ordered those cards for super cheap, but it's so much more fun to pull them. So anyways, today I'm going to do a special video on a deck review. I haven't done one in a while, just like an old school deck review and my thoughts on it. This one in particular is the Shadowless Overgrowth theme deck. I have not seen one go up for sale other than gold strips for $1,000, $2,000. I got this one for around $150 a year ago. So let's get right to it. Right off the bat, you've got the card in the front, the damage counters, the coin, 99, 99, 99. You've got the dates on the bottom, 99, 98, 97, 96. 95. You got all those dates on the bottom, the 10 damage counters. You've got everything that would make it Shadowless on top of that. The deck is for sure in the top, which is how we know that it's Shadowless. It's in really, really good shape. The rules do not say 2.0. They just say rules. So another indicator that we got a legit Shadowless deck. We've got our damage counters and our coin, which are in a nice little package that they did. Everything was really kept well. This seller basically, just to show you guys, the deck should be in the top. You see, that's the deck holder right there. In fact, in the gold strip scam that I did an unboxing for, where I talked about the Shadowless gold strip scam, they even messed up. They had the deck holder in the top. It was a Shadowless box they were using, but they forgot and they accidentally slipped the deck into this spot, probably because whoever they had running their operation wasn't paying attention and put the deck in the wrong place. Anyways, all the decks should be in the top here. I'm not sure. Okay, the holo must be in this deck. Let's get straight to it. I tried to do videos doing unboxings and hoping to pull a Shadowless card, and what I found was that it was very unlikely to pull a Shadowless card in these boxes. Like, some people have a ton of boxes saved from the old days in their old collection, but if you start collecting now, 9 times out of 10, you are not going to get a Shadowless, and that's me just being straight up. I have completely stopped looking. All my decks that are new and sealed, that aren't on the shelf, sit in a display right in the corner of this room. All of them. I got 5 Brush Fire decks, 3 Overgrowth decks, 3 Blackout decks. I don't have any. I have 1 Zap deck, but it's sealed and opened. It's just the deck is sealed, not the actual package. So I've just given up on opening those. I'm just going to keep them as sealed products now because it's so hard. It's so much easier to just buy these open. In fact, I lost a bid on an opened Zap deck that even had the glue. So Shadow's cards, when they seal these up, usually there's a glue line on the holographic cards. I'll check this card and see if there is the holographic that's in this deck, which is our Gyarados. It's so beautiful. The Shadowless cards, they're completely different. This deck is in such good condition. It is such a minty, fresh, clean deck. A lot of the cards, I don't know if you guys can see this, but this card is perfect. And that's how all these cards are. It's like they were never played, never touched. There's barely any warp whatsoever or bow. They're very flat cards. Very nice. This deck is very nice. But typically you'll have glue that runs down the middle of this where they sealed the cards. It's pretty much like that for all the Shadowless decks. And I was bidding on a Zap deck, and I loved the fact that it still had that glue strip on it, because it told me this is all really part of the real deal package of a legit Shadowless deck. And it was open, so I knew all the cards were Shadowless, but you could fill cards that are Shadowless into a Shadowless box. There are plenty of ways that you can just put a Shadowless deck together. And I've tried to do that. and I quit because it is expensive and it actually costs more than bidding on a used Shadowless deck. If you can get it for under 200. I lost a bid for a Zap Shadowless deck that was used and had a glue stain in the middle of the Mewtwo. I lost that for 180. I was super salty about it. I was super salty because I got all these a year ago for 150. So anyways, just to show you guys the quality of this card. Look at the quality of this card. This Gyarados is pristine. It is pristine. I'm going to take it out of the sleeve as much as I don't want to, just so I can show you guys. This card is absolutely pristine. It looks really, really good. You can actually tell pretty clearly in this video how good this card actually looks. Let's see if I can get a little bit of the light to shine off of that. Yeah, it's a really beautiful card. And we go to the back, and you can see there's very, very little whitening on this edge and up here, but this edge up top and below is pretty dang good. I'm pretty happy with this overall. Now this was just in a regular sleeve, but I'm going to go ahead, and Gyarados is one of my favorite. It is the iconic, the most iconic kind of, I should have had this in a top loader. It is the iconic water dragon type, who pretty much in all of the Pokemon games, I try and run a Gyarados. Gyarados is so good. He's so powerful. He's really effective. You know, you get him to learn Surf, and you can just surf everywhere using Gyarados, and then you have a really strong Pokemon. But it's funny getting that useless Magikarp to a Gyarados or Magikarp, whatever we're calling it. I think I want to actually get a slightly cleaner top loader, something slightly clearer for this card specifically. Yeah, this is good. Call me OCD. But I wasn't like this with my cards when I was younger, and I intend to be better about that as I'm older. So this, in my opinion, is the best way. You just tap it down a little bit, and everything falls into place nicely. It's a nice card there. Okay, getting into the rest of the deck, because we're now 7 minutes in. Ivysaur is super iconic. I love these Shadowless cards. That's why I like buying the Shadowless decks. I think you get a lot of value. You get all these Shadowless energies, which are really rare, and you get the Shadowless Pokemon. No, they're not first edition Shadowless, but these are next in line. These are going to go up more in value, in my opinion, than first edition unlimited base set cards. These Shadowless cards are going to get a lot harder to find. And you've got your classic attacks with, not much damage like the newer ones. But you've got Vine Whip, which allows you to use 1 grass energy and 2 of any other energies. And it does 30 damage, which can smack out some weak Pokemon with 1 hit. And you can use 2 of any energies. So this deck runs water and grass energies, so if you've got all your water energies but only 1 grass energy, you can use this attack easily. I love the artwork on this card. That beautiful flower on the top there. I mean, we really don't give enough credit to the original illustrators for these cards. I mean, it's just the new illustrators really have to start looking at the old collection and kind of get an idea for how he was inspired to do these drawings, and these just masterpieces. The art is just incredible. The colors pop off so well. It's very iconic. Get into our next card. I don't want to shuffle these too hard. And you've got Beedrill. Now I always believed, in my opinion, that Beedrill should have been a holographic card. And I love that I pulled a Beedrill in the recent set all these basic common cards, pretty much they throw in all these new packs, they throw in a random holo. Guaranteed you'll get a reverse holo. I'm not sure if you get a V card guaranteed in all the packs or another holo guaranteed. I think you do. But you definitely get a reverse holo. And I pulled a reverse holo Beedrill out of one of these newer packs. I'm not sure if it was Chilling Reign or Vivid Voltage. But yeah, Beedrill is one of my favorite. He's got spears for arms. He's a Hornet. I don't like Hornets, but he's kind of just a really cool, bad to the bone bee. But yeah, he's pretty awesome looking. The colors are really cool. The red and the yellow pops off. Just amazing artwork once again. He's got Twin Needle. Flip 2 coins. It does 30 damage times the number of heads. But you can use any energy, which is really the pro to that attack. If you're out of energies and you need to use whatever you got, and you're trying to run other Pokemon in this deck that are not grass type energy, then that's a great attack. But you're going with a lot of luck. And in the old days, a lot of the cards are based on luck. Flip a coin for this, flip a coin for that, for all the conditional effects like paralysis and poison. Just like Yu-Gi-Oh, I am way bigger fan of the older cards in terms of playing with them. Now collecting, I'm down with Pokemon, but not so much with Yu-Gi-Oh. Yu-Gi-Oh will always be old school collection for me. I will never get a new school collection of Yu-Gi-Oh unless they re-retro something, in which case that could change. His second attack is Poison Sting. Flip a coin if heads. Defending Pokemon is now poisoned. You need 3 grass energies for that. It does 40 damage, which should knock out most Pokemon. But then if you get heads, the Pokemon's poisoned. So then the next turn they take 10 damage, and every turn after they take 10 damage, unless you switch them out into the bench. But basically you could run 50 damage with this guy and take out any Pokemon on that first roll. Really particularly great if it's a big evolved Pokemon that has multiple retreat costs that can't afford to retreat. This is great for finishing off a big Pokemon like that. You've got Kakuna, which is the form before him, which is kind of this bee cocoon. Stiffen. Flip a coin if heads. Prevent all damage done to Kakuna during your opponent's next turn. So the reason Stiffen's great, at first I was like, this is useless. It just prevents damage. It's totally defensive. Well, if you have Beedrill and you are running on luck and you want to save your energies and you want to save putting other Pokemon out or retreating Kakuna, basically you would use Stiffen, flip a coin, you get heads, you don't take any damage. Then next turn evolve Kakuna and throw that third energy on, and then use Beedrill to wipe out whatever is on your opponent's field. Then it's got a really good attack. Poison Powder. Flip a coin if heads. Defend a Pokemon is poisoned. And it does 20 damage. But it does take 2 grass energies. So you could potentially do a 30 damage. And he has 80 health, which is pretty good for the old school cards. So you could do 20 damage and then poison, which would damage the other Pokemon every turn. So here we are, the first evolved forms of one of the big 3. We've got Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur looks really good. The artwork is incredible. You've got these pink flowers and then this kind of meadow behind him, and he's doing kind of a leech seed. He's shooting that seed out of the top. Probably the best Bulbasaur artwork of all time. It is an OG. I just see cards like this going up in value a lot. He's got 40 HP, not great. Leech Seed. Unless all damage from this attack is prevented, you can remove a damage counter from Bulbasaur. So what's awesome about that is, I didn't even know the attack was Leech Seed, but I just figured because he's shooting out a seed out of his back, it's Leech Seed. But, so he does 20 damage and then repairs himself in the process. Super cool. Super cool. That probably was annoying for a lot of people that were playing against grass type cards early on. Oh, Ryan, don't mess up these cards. Okay, so the next card, anticlimactic, Weedle. We got Weedle. I actually have a couple Weedles I got just from buying collections. I have a couple Shadowless Weedles. Pretty common card. 40 HP, Poison Sting. Flip a coin if heads. Defending Pokemon's poisoned. Really weak attack, does 10 damage. But if you happen to poison a Pokemon on the first turn, then within 2 more turns, you'll do damage again. They'll get poisoned again. 2 more turns, that Pokemon's out. So Weedle's really great if you happen to have Kakuna too, so you can evolve him, do more poison damage, have more HP. Yeah, Weedle's really cool. Moving on into the infamous Magikarp. We've got a Tackle for 10, feels pretty useless, and Flail. Does 10 damage times the number of damage counters on Magikarp. That's cool and all, but Magikarp only has 30 HP, so Flail could literally only do 20 damage max, which sucks. He has 30 HP, but when evolved from Magikarp to Gyarados, he has an attack that does, what, 50? Dragon Rage does 50. Bubble Beam, flip a coin if the head's defending Pokemon is paralyzed, so you could do that 40 damage and then paralyze your defending your opponent's Pokemon. I don't know how many Magikarp are in here. Okay, so I see 2 Magikarp. It looks like there are just 2 Magikarp in here. I'm just double checking and making sure. Okay, 2 Magikarp in here. I'm gonna have to check the deck list and make sure that that is correct. I feel like there's 3 or 4, but 2 is fine because it does get you to that Gyarados, and it is 1 evolved form, so having 4, and it's pretty useless, so having 3 or 4 of these wouldn't make much sense, but there's 2 of these in here. One of my favorite water Pokemon, Starmie. Recover. Discard 1 water energy card attached to Starmie in order to use his attack. Move all damage counters from Starmie. So he has 60 HP, so you wouldn't get much out of that. If you were 60 or 70, if you were 70 or 80 HP, you would get a lot more benefit off of discarding an energy and removing damage. But in the old game especially, your energies are crucial, and when you go through them too quick, you leave yourself vulnerable. Star Freeze. So this takes 1 water and 2 of any other energies, 3 total. Flip a coin if heads defending Pokemon's paralyzed, so it can do 20 and paralyze a defending Pokemon. Yeah, Starmie's pretty cool. I'm not a big fan of this like kind of 3D looking animation art. I always thought that was kind of weird, but it definitely looks better. It definitely looks more realistic on Staryu, which just has Slap that does 20 damage. But this art looks really good on Staryu. It looks really realistic. I kind of can imagine this starfish with this red glowing orb. It's really exciting to see where Pokemon goes in the coming years, and how the saga pretty much evolves into something else. But right now, let's get these cards back in front. These cards back in. And then I need to look up if Magikarp is, if there are 2, 3, or 4, because this could have been slightly an incomplete deck. So we'll find that out shortly. I'm going to put this Gyarados. I like to put the Gyarados in a top loader, and then I don't want to have the deck pushing against the Gyarados because you could probably warp it that way. So I try to just do the Gyarados behind the rule book pamphlet, which is behind the deck. Kind of keep everything straightened out that way. And that is always hard getting us in here without damaging anything. Okay, there you have it. Shadowless deck. I'll have to find out if there are more Magikarps in this deck, if I actually am missing a Magikarp or 2. But yeah, 2 Magikarps for that. You gotta get pretty lucky then to evolve into the Gyarados. But anyways, that's a wrap for the Shadowless Overgrowth theme deck. This is one of my long time overdue just deck reviews. I really miss doing deck reviews, getting to the core of what Pokemon's about, which is about playing a game with someone and connecting. I love playing with my wife. There was a time where we played pretty much every night, and I can't wait to get back to that. I can't wait for Aspen to enjoy playing just good, having good sober fun with your kid and with your family, and that's exciting. And I think Pokemon is just such a family-friendly thing. And that's one of the best parts about it. Alright guys, have a good one. Thanks for tuning in. See ya. Oh, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and now comments are on, so you will be able to comment if you have anything you have to say, or any information. I'm always learning stuff. I'm always open to learning stuff, and I wouldn't mind seeing any comments. All right, peace out, guys.